Hello everyone, I'm Rip Biscuit, and Marble Invite Season 2 just finished, and unsurprisingly, it was peak content. From the filming, graphics, commentary, and the team selection being teams that I actually know instead of random stuff like the Silver Lychees, this season was absolutely amazing. And for my first sequel recap, I couldn't think of a better comp to do it for. Anyway, let's get started for this. We're starting with the hosts this time around, and this time, they weren't complete dog shit. Yippee! The Flamethrowers had some home field advantage, and they used that better than the Surging Storms. The Flamethrowers had their first ever run in the first ever event, showing the world what they were capable of. They got 15th. However, the Flamethrowers managed to get 3 medals, which is very respectable, and it helped them go up to 7th overall. The host job was excellent, and the performance was quite solid. Not much else to say. In a VC a while ago, Pesky asked me to be nice to the Eclipses. Obviously, I said, okay. I lied. Again. At the very least, the Eclipses seem to have some form of competence, which is a lot better than the Surging Storms last season. Wow, that's 2 segments in a row where I rant about the Surging Storms. They must really suck or something. Anyway, the Eclipses started off strong with the silver and balancing, and Luna proved why they're one of the greatest individual marbles of all time. They took the overall lead. Things are going great. Nothing can possibly go wrong. Oh. Okay, that wasn't great, and losing in block dueling to the team that got last in block pushing last season is very embarrassing, but Penumbra got a medal in triathlon and curling went well enough to put you in 2nd overall. Surely this season will end off well, and what do you mean they only got 5 points in the final 3 events? Did this team actually fall to the bottom half? Yeah, Pesky said this season was getting eclipsed, but this season ended with a cosmic choke. Grown Garden is weird because they're one of the few teams in this season that actually completely deserve to be here. This is especially crazy considering they got 14th place. There was an S start with 3 5th place finishes in the first 5 events, and they barely got a bronze in block dueling, but that was their peak. The captain could have advanced in triathlon, but they decided on marble with actual aura, and decided competing wasn't worth it anymore, a decision that continued in curling, where the team decided to hate each other instead of the Spheroids. Leaf ended off the season with a nice, healthy conversation with a hexagon, causing the team to fall to 14th overall. An unfortunate shit show of a season, but that does mean if MMG is invited again, we might see an honest-to-God Limers marble in the Marble Invites. Truly a blessed timeline.
It's raining.
Oh boy, did you think the Eclipses fall off was bad? That was nothing compared to whatever the hell happened to Team Downpour. Things started great in the first third with 2 medals and 2 7th place finishes. Team Downpour seemed like a shocking threat despite not even having an overall podium in GMC. And then for the next 7 events in a row, this team couldn't even fathom the concept of a top 10 finish. This includes last in block dueling against Grown Garden. However, Team Downpour got revenge on Grown Garden by passing them in the final event with the most fitting placement possible, 4th. It was only possible for 13th overall due to the huge downfall, and if this is a sign for GMC Season 5, then maybe it's a good thing that I stopped managing you. It's genuinely crazy how far the Balls of Zen have come. Their first ever events were absolutely atrocious, to the point where they were called the Bozos. While the nickname stuck, the incompetence did not, getting 5th in Season 1 and winning Season 2 of the VKL. Because of this, they were invited to one of the most prestigious marble tournaments. The transition from 2D to 3D should have been rough, but the Bozos sufficed. Getting 3 bronze medals and a bunch of double-digit points finishes significantly helped keep the Balls of Zen high up in the order. They could win going into the final event, but Yang, what the fuck? I guess once a bozo, always a bozo.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
The Pixellab have an uncanny ability to be great in everything except for their own league. They got 2nd Marble Invites and the JBL Grand Prix, not to mention Byte winning JBL GP individually and also being one of the most popular teams in custom comp history. Anyway, how did things go with the Acacia League? Oh, that's unfortunate. The artist started the season being as mid as possible, with 2 8th place finishes and a 9th. Things went a bit better with 4th in sprint and bronze in collision. Pixel had another great event as they won triathlon and climbed up to 2nd before immediately falling after a terrible curling and poor elimination race. However, a gold in Team Tower Descent, combined with a very close field, helped you jump all the way to 2nd. The Pixellab were able to beat the Knights of Night, but the Abstract Aquatics passed them in the meantime, and the Pixelated Artist got 2nd overall. 'Twas an excellent season, and I can't wait for you to compete again next season. If Sweet Acacia League gets reinvited, that is.
Bababnas.
With the previous MSC representative being the Storm Chasers, you didn't have much expectations on you. It didn't help that after 4 events, you were in 14th place, only above Beavis and Butthead. Despite having 4 medals, tied for the most of the season, the Splits were unable to finish in the top half due to losing a tiebreaker. Finishing half of all the events in the bottom 5 is a bad look, but I guess things could have gone worse. You could be the Majora Cup Banana Splits after all. Truly a horrific fate. Honestly, I'm just glad that the Flaming Cobras were invited in the first place. I recently learned about how Spenny chooses their Marble Invites representatives, and there is an alternate reality where Team Mariana is a Marble Invites team, and that would not be cool. The Flaming Cobras had a solid comeback, all things considered. 2/3 of the season done, and they were only beating Fanboy and Chum Chum. However, things got better with a gold in curling. Getting a silver in Team Tower Descents helped them jump up to 8th place, and barely being able to win provided the perfect scenario happened. A scenario that got screwed up because Leaf decided to do a little silly. The Cobras stayed in 8th, however, which is a significant improvement over Team Clarity, although that's not surprising because it's Team fucking Clarity.
And this is the thanks I get.
While you weren't on the podium this time around, you did pretty well this season. However, you avoided the massive group and obstacle race early on to win a gold. Damn, if being an introvert made you this good at sports, I should be the greatest Olympic athlete of all time, putting the likes of Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps to shame. The Spheroids got their only other medal in collision with another gold before Whist immediately dropped to the funnels like a brick in the funnel endurance and got last. Okay, as a side note, why the hell are there 8 reserves in funnel endurance? Maybe they're really good at funnel endurance. Clearly. Anyway, they were fine for the rest of the season and stayed in the top half, but never on the overall podium again. Well, it was a decent season and... Hold up, just a sec. Holy shit, Michael Massey is calling me! Hello, Mr. Massey. Okay. Right. Sorry, Mr. Massey. So I just learned that the Wishful Spheroids should actually get 50 extra points for being really fucking cool. I don't entirely understand that, but I can't disobey Mr. Massey. I guess that means that they win the season. Good for them, I guess.
Ocean Man, take me by the hand.
The Marine team was another returning team from Season 1 because, frankly, if you don't invite the team with 2 championships in 3 seasons, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? However, this season was a lot more disappointing compared to their solid Season 1. They got as low as 14th at multiple points, only ahead of Harry and Marv. However, in Elimination Race, Anglerfish, the fucking reserve, carried this team so hard by winning 6 out of the 5 races and getting gold. If only the other members could contribute significantly. Remember when Whale was good? Yeah, I miss that. The Marine team did not have a good season to the point where I don't see them coming to Season 3 whatsoever, especially with how they are doing in the McDolphin Team Cup. Thank God some cooler teams came this season so I didn't have to solely root for the Marine team. From one water team to another, we move on to the winners of the Marble Invites. I know there was some controversy about English not inviting the team that absolutely smoked MMM Season 1, or even the very great Gold Shards. Admittedly, outside of those 4 medals, the Aquatics were overall pretty mid, but that's definitely better than the other teams with 4 medals. Ever since Event 6, the Aquatics managed to hold the lead until Event 11, where they fell off a bit. However, the captain managed to get bronze in the Towering Inferno, while the other title contenders either struggled or were unable to get gold because Cactus decided to do something with their sad, pathetic existence in the Marble Invites. The Abstract Aquatics are emerging as a potentially amazing team, especially with how well they are doing in MMM Season 3. They may not have deserved to get in, and they may not come back, but the Abstract Aquatics took this opportunity and absolutely rolled with it. I hope to see you again in Season 3.
No!
I figure it's about time to talk about one of the most undeniably dogshit teams this season. Green Lotus spent most of the season in a tank bowl with the Party Crashers. Only this team could follow off 3 consecutive provisional first-place balancing runs by shitting themselves and getting last. Only they could choke advancement in the sprint to fall to last in the entire event. Only they could choke a 4-2 lead in curling because their finalist Marble decided to exclusively hit their own team. Only they could spend an extended amount of time rolling up to every single obtuse angle in the first round of Elimination Race and getting last. And only they could get 3 goose eggs in 12 events of the Marble Invites. And of course, only their dumb ass could prevent the coolest team from getting a podium overall. The saddest part is that with Season 4 of the QML, this bad performance is no longer an anomaly and might become the status quo. Actually, wait, I already said a similar thing about the Deep Divers. How are they doing? Oh. Yeah, Green Supreme should be just fine.
Night to night, night to night.
Well, that, well, shit. Okay, I feel obligated to apologize to this team, as I have wronged them on multiple occasions. First of all, I will admit that their execution could be considered cruel and unusual punishment, which is strictly prohibited according to the 8th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. That was a mistake on my part. Some may call it a lapse in my judgment. I would also like to apologize for saying that the Knights of Night don't deserve to be in Marble Invites on multiple occasions. While this seemed to be reasonable after the first 3 events, the Knights of Night managed to make an impressive comeback to finish in 3rd overall. And now that I think about it, I'm sorry for one more thing. I'm sorry that your captain is a useless, incompetent, and absolute garbage individual competitor that managed to choke the Knights' respectable lead while in the same heat as fucking Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin. Captain should be renamed to former member, because that's exactly what they should be. Okay, that was a wee bit harsh. I'm sorry for that too. It was still an excellent season, although I think this apology is missing something. Oh hey, a ukulele. The toxic gossip train! Now, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that Seaweed's Marble Association was supposed to be in Season 1 of the Marble Invites, but they were replaced last second by the Biscuit Brawl? Seaweed apparently said that they would have put the Blood Moons in that season. Sadly, the Blood Moons' debut this season was quite poor. The starting 5 events were very bad, as the Blood Moons only ended up being ahead of the Party Crashers and Green Lotus. Eclipse managed to get a golden funnel endurance, but outside of that, the Blood Moons only had 2 other top half finishes. 12th place is incredibly disappointing because the Blood Moons give the vibes of a winner. But no, they're actually really mediocre. Good thing Cetacean Nation replaced them last minute and dominated the whole thing.
It's time to stop!
So, you may not know this, but the Time Watchers were actually created by me. They were a draft team for Joker's Marble League during Season 2, so for that reason, they were the team that I was rooting for this season. So imagine my joy when they pull up to the balancing course and absolutely smoke the field by getting 3 finishers. We started in the lead, but for some reason I felt like we were going to fall off. My luck in last season's Marble Invites was very poor, considering out of the 4 teams that I liked in the league, only 1 finished in the top 10, which still holds true even if you include my 5th favorite team, the Valiant Vanillas. But the Time Watchers would never be bad. They didn't understand the concept of being shit this season. The Time Watchers managed to finish in the top 10 for every single event, being the only team this season with 0 lead Q points. The Time Watchers were incredibly consistent, but that never meant that they were boring. They had plenty of highlights, like the previously mentioned Balancing Gold, the comeback against Green Lotus in block dueling, Kronos pulling out the Mario Kart Wii speedrunning strats in Triathlon, and of course Luna being oh so close to the overall podium, but just losing out due to Green Lotus getting their revenge. Despite missing out on the podium by medal count, this was an excellent season for the Time Watchers, and I'm so happy that they managed to do great this season. Surely things are going great for them in the JML. Oh.
You pick one, yo!
Warning. I will sing, and it will probably be bad, but hey, shitty singing for a shitty performance. Ramen still makes fun of us, but now he's obliged to. There's a tank bull with Green Lotus, but they destroyed us too. Higher, higher, can we go higher? Performing as well as the balls of fire. Trying, but we keep on dying. Invite speeding trains to stop Stephen's crying. God damn it, why do we have this hell? Why can't we simply just perform well? This competition left us overwhelmed. Intruder is crying for help. Nominations for the worst ever team. Demolition of our self-esteem. Back to Australia where we will excel. Still Intruder is crying for help. Intruder is crying for help. Intruder is crying for help.
Nomination for the worst ever team.
demolition of our self-esteem. Back to Australia where we will excel. Still intruder is crying for help. Funnily enough, I forgot to write a script for the outro because I am a stupid idiot dum-dum face. But thank you for watching the video, and this has been an amazing season of Marble Invites, and I am extremely excited for Season 3 and what will be like there. But until next time, this is Rip Biscuit, signing off.